This is Sean Thomas Radcliffe. Welcome to a special episode of Preservation Oaks. In this episode, we celebrate October and Halloween. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the program. Greetings, brave souls, and welcome to a chilling special edition of the Preservation Oaks podcast, where we dive into the eerie and macabre. I'm your guide, Sean Radcliffe, coming to you from the shadowy depths of Salt Lake City, and tonight we conjure a spine-tingling special for the witching hour. As the veil between worlds thins, and the spirits of the netherworld are unleashed on October 31st, we embrace the dark magic of Halloween. On this night each year, the restless souls of the underworld rise up, casting their eerie presence upon the mortal realm, spreading chaos and mischief as they roam free. This night of spectral wonder is followed by All Saints' Day, when these ghastly apparitions are once again confined to the abyss, awaiting their return next year. In honor of this October's eerie enchantment, Preservation Oaks beckons you to venture into the realm of the supernatural. We will unveil 31 spine-chilling historical locations across the United States, each a real haunt where the ghostly echoes of the past continue to send shivers down the spines of those who dare to visit. As we traverse the shadowy corners of this vast nation, you'll discover abandoned asylums, haunted houses, and ghostly graveyards, all steeped in tales of sorrow, mystery, and the supernatural. What secrets do these eerie locations hold? What spirits roam the hallways of forgotten mansions? Prepare yourselves for a journey through haunted history as we explore these true and terrifying sights. So dim the lights and gather close, for the shadows are long and the night is dark. You can catch our spectral tales on all major podcast platforms, plus Rumble, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Your likes, comments, and follows are the beacons that guide us through the darkness. A heartfelt thanks to all who share our macabre tales and support the heroes of Preservation Oaks. We don't seek donations, only your support in shining a light on the courageous organizations preserving our haunted heritage. Picture this. The wind howls through the trees, carrying whispers of those who once walked among us, souls tethered to the past, yearning for recognition. Each site we explore tonight is a testament to the untold stories of life, death, and everything in between. From the haunted halls of the Stanley Hotel in Colorado to the chilling shadows of the Ohio State Reformatory, we'll unveil the legends that have captured the imagination of countless thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts. But beware, for the path we tread is not for the faint of heart. As we delve into these frightful places, you may find yourself questioning what lurks just beyond the flickering candlelight, or what specters might be watching you from the corners of your room. So grab a blanket, turn down the lights, and prepare for spine-tingling tales that will send shivers down your spine. Each location holds a unique story, a haunting past that begs to be uncovered. Are you ready to confront the unknown? Join us now as we embark on this spectral expedition, where every corner hides a mystery and every shadow could be a glimpse into the beyond. This is not just a review of haunted places. It's a journey into the depths of fear, history, and the supernatural. Hold on tight, dear listeners, for the darkness awaits, and it has stories to tell. Welcome to our Halloween special, a countdown of the 31 spookiest places across the United States. Now let the shadows guide us as we unveil the 31 spine-chilling true historical hauntings that will chill your bones and captivate your imagination. Hold tight, and let's descend into the eerie unknown. Welcome to part 2 of our special Halloween episode. If you missed part 1 for some reason, you can catch it on all major podcast platforms, preservationoaks.podbean.com, plus Rumble, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. First on our list for part 2 of our special episode is number 16. We're off to the state of Virginia and the Peyton Randolph House in Williamsburg, Virginia. Known as one of the most haunted homes in colonial Williamsburg, this historic home has a long history of ghostly encounters. Visitors and staff have reported strange noises, disembodied voices, and sightings of shadowy figures. The house's eerie reputation stems from its connection to the American Revolution and the many people who lived and died there. Now, let's find out more.
Today, we venture into the heart of colonial Williamsburg, Virginia, to one of the most haunted houses in America, the Peyton Randolph House. Known for its rich Revolutionary history, the stately brick home has stood since 1715, but it's not just the history that lingers here. Many believe that the spirits of those who lived, suffered, and died in this house remain trapped within its walls, making it one of the eeriest locations in the United States. The Peyton Randolph House has been home to many, but none more notable than Peyton Randolph himself, a key figure in early American history and the first president of the Continental Congress. Yet, despite the house's significance to the birth of a nation, its reputation is more closely tied to the dark shadows and unexplained events that have plagued its halls for centuries. The house is said to be home to over 20 different spirits. That's right, more than 20 restless souls have reportedly been encountered by visitors and staff alike, making this mansion a hub of paranormal activity. But what is it about this house that attracts so much ghostly energy? Some believe it's tied to the tragic deaths that occurred here. The Randolph family, like many colonial families, endured their share of suffering, and several people are said to have died within the home's walls under mysterious or unfortunate circumstances. One of the most chilling tales is that of a young boy who fell from a tree on the property and later died in one of the upstairs rooms. Visitors often report hearing the soft, sorrowful cries of a child coming from the second floor, even though no one else is there. Another spirit that haunts the Peyton Randolph house is thought to be that of a woman, possibly an enslaved servant, whose death remains a mystery. She's been seen as a shadowy figure drifting through the corridors at night, and some say they've felt an overwhelming sense of sadness when they enter certain rooms, as though they're stepping into the presence of someone who met a terrible fate. But it's not just the sightings that send shivers down visitors' spines, it's the atmosphere. Guests and employees alike have reported sudden drops in temperature, the feeling of being watched, and objects moving on their own. In fact, one chilling story involves a colonial interpreter who was working in the house when he suddenly felt a cold hand grab his shoulder. When he turned around, no one was there, but the handprint left on his coat remained visible for several minutes afterward. One of the most well-known accounts comes from a group of paranormal investigators who visited the house in recent years. While they were conducting their investigation, they heard loud footsteps on the staircase behind them, footsteps that seemed to come from nowhere. When they rushed to see who it was, they found the staircase empty. Later, reviewing their recordings, they captured an eerie voice whispering, "Get out." Many believe that the ghosts in the Peyton Randolph house are tied to the violent history of the Revolutionary War. Williamsburg was a hotbed of revolutionary activity, and tensions between loyalists and patriots often turned deadly. Some speculate that the spirits of soldiers, perhaps those who died nearby or were treated within the house, have never fully crossed over. There are also accounts of unexplained illnesses. In one such tale, several visitors to the house reported feeling nauseous or dizzy shortly after entering certain rooms. Some even fainted without explanation. Paranormal experts believe that the energy in the house is so intense that it can physically affect people, draining them of their strength and leaving them with a lingering sense of unease. But it's not just visitors who experience these strange occurrences. Even staff members, those who are in the house day in and day out, have shared unsettling stories. One guide reported that while she was locking up the house late one night, she heard a soft humming sound coming from an empty room. When she entered to investigate, the humming stopped, but the room felt unnaturally cold. It was as though someone, or something, had been in there with her, watching her every move. Over the years, the house has undergone many restorations, and some believe this activity has stirred up the spirits even more. Many paranormal experts believe that renovations to historic buildings can sometimes awaken the dead, especially if the house holds deep emotional or traumatic energy. It seems that with every update to the house, the spirits become more restless. Today, the Peyton Randolph house remains one of Williamsburg's most popular ghost tour destinations. People from all over come to see if they can catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure in the windows or feel the icy chill that signals a spirit's presence. Many leave with stories of their own, stories of flickering lights, moving furniture, or eerie voices whispering in the dark. Yet, despite all the ghostly encounters, the Peyton Randolph house stands as a reminder of America's rich and sometimes dark past. It's a place where history and the supernatural collide, and for those brave enough to visit, it offers a rare glimpse into a world where the line between the living and the dead is blurred.
So, if you ever find yourself in colonial Williamsburg and decide to visit the Peyton Randolph house, remember to tread carefully. You might just feel the presence of one of the many spirits who call this historic mansion home. Okay, now for number 17 on our list, we travel from Virginia back to Florida to Bellamy Bridge, where local legend tells of the ghost of a bride who died on her wedding night, haunting the bridge where she perished.
In the dense, shadowy woods of northern Florida, where the Spanish moss drapes from ancient oaks and the swampy waters glisten with an eerie stillness, stands an old, decrepit structure known as Bellamy Bridge. This once grand bridge, spanning the remote banks of the Chipola River, has long been the focus of a chilling and tragic ghost story that continues to captivate and terrify those who dare to venture into the depths of its haunted history. The tale of the ghost of Bellamy Bridge is one of love, loss, and an undying spectral presence that haunts the area to this very day. The legend of Bellamy Bridge is rooted in a tragic love story from the 19th century. It is said that Elizabeth Bellamy, the beautiful daughter of a wealthy local landowner, was deeply in love with a young man named Samuel. Their love was as strong as it was forbidden, for Elizabeth's father disapproved of Samuel, believing he was not suitable for his daughter. Despite her father's objections, Elizabeth and Samuel planned to elope, dreaming of a future together away from the constraints of society. On a fateful night, as Elizabeth and Samuel made their way to the bridge to begin their journey, disaster struck. Elizabeth, dressed in her wedding gown, was tragically caught in a fire that consumed her entire being. The flames were so intense that they could be seen from miles away, and by the time help arrived, Elizabeth had been reduced to ashes. Samuel, heartbroken and devastated, was left to wander the area in search of his lost love, but his grief and despair were to no avail. Since that tragic night, the bridge has become the focal point of numerous ghostly sightings and paranormal phenomena. Locals and visitors alike have reported seeing the spectral figure of a woman in a tattered wedding gown wandering near the bridge. This ghostly apparition is often described as a pale figure, her dress still bearing the singed remnants of the fire that claimed her life. Her spectral form is said to be shrouded in an otherworldly glow, adding to the haunting aura that surrounds her presence. One of the most common reports associated with the ghost of Bellamy Bridge is the sighting of a glowing figure moving through the woods. Witnesses describe seeing a mysterious, ethereal light drifting along the edge of the river or hovering above the bridge. This spectral light is often accompanied by a sense of profound sadness and an unsettling chill in the air, as though the very spirit of Elizabeth is reaching out to those who come near. The bridge itself, now a dilapidated relic of its former grandeur, adds to the eerie atmosphere. The creaking of the old wooden planks and the whisper of the wind through the surrounding trees create a haunting soundtrack that enhances the sense of unease. Visitors have reported hearing the faint sound of wedding bells or ghostly voices carried on the breeze, as though the echoes of Elizabeth's tragic story are still resonating through the night. In addition to these ghostly sightings, there have been numerous reports of unexplained phenomena in the vicinity of the bridge. Strange occurrences such as sudden drops in temperature, inexplicable feelings of being watched, and the sound of footsteps following visitors have all been attributed to the restless spirit of Elizabeth Bellamy. The bridge and its surrounding woods have become a hotspot for paranormal investigations, with many seeking to capture evidence of the haunting presence that lingers in the area. The ghostly figure of Elizabeth Bellamy, forever bound to the site of her tragic fate, continues to haunt the bridge and its environs. Her presence a haunting reminder of love lost and the enduring sorrow that transcends the bounds of life and death.
Now, for those brave enough to visit Marianna, Florida, Bellamy Bridge offers a chilling encounter with a spectral love story that remains as haunting and poignant as ever. The ghost of Bellamy Bridge serves as a powerful testament to the enduring paranormal energy of tragedy and the restless spirits that linger in the shadows. You can schedule your own tour or find out more by visiting bellamybridge.org. Now on to Mississippi, where we find out more about the Witch of Yazoo, Mississippi. This is a local legend about a witch who cursed a town, leading to mysterious deaths and occurrences. Now, I've read many tales like this, and each and every one has some basis in fact. I've always been very careful not to tempt fate by disbelieving in these local legends and instead give them ample deference, especially at Halloween when the veil is thinnest.
Deep in the heart of Mississippi, where the sprawling oak trees draped in Spanish moss cast long, eerie shadows across the land, lies the small town of Yazoo City, a place where history and folklore intertwine in the most unsettling of ways. Among the many ghostly legends that haunt this southern town, none is as chilling or as enduring as the tale of the Witch of Yazoo. This spectral figure, wrapped in mystery and dread, has been a source of fear and fascination for generations, her haunting presence casting a long shadow over Yazoo's darkened streets and dense, whispering woods. The legend of the Witch of Yazoo dates back to the early 19th century, a time when the town was still finding its place in the world. It is said that a woman named Margaret, who lived on the outskirts of Yazoo, was known for her peculiar ways and unsettling demeanor. Margaret was rumored to practice dark magic and was often seen performing strange rituals in the woods that surrounded her home. Her eccentricities and the dark rumors that swirled around her led many to believe that she was indeed a witch, possessing powers that defied the natural order. Margaret's reputation for witchcraft and her alleged connection to the supernatural made her a figure of suspicion and fear. Local townsfolk whispered of her ability to summon storms, control animals, and even inflict curses upon those who crossed her. It is said that Margaret's powers were so feared that she was shunned by the community, and her home was avoided by all but the most desperate or foolhardy. The most notorious part of the legend involves a series of tragic and inexplicable events that seem to follow in Margaret's wake. Reports of livestock dying under mysterious circumstances, crops failing inexplicably, and unexplained illnesses spreading through the town were all attributed to the witch's supposed malevolence. The growing fear and distrust eventually led to Margaret's brutal demise, an event shrouded in rumors and half-truths. Some say she was lynched by an angry mob, while others claim she met a more sinister end, her body disappearing without a trace. After Margaret's death, the tales of her ghostly presence began to circulate. It is said that her spirit, consumed by rage and sorrow, continues to haunt the woods and the town of Yazoo. Those who dare to venture into the area where Margaret's home once stood often report unsettling experiences. Witnesses describe seeing a ghostly figure clad in tattered, old-fashioned clothing, her eyes glowing with a malevolent light. This apparition is frequently seen wandering the darkened woods, her presence marked by a chilling drop in temperature and an overpowering sense of dread. One of the most chilling aspects of the Witch of Yazoo legend is the mysterious ethereal glow that some claim to have seen in the woods at night. This ghostly light, often described as an unearthly green or blue, is said to float through the trees and guide the unwary deeper into the forest. Those who have encountered the light report feelings of being watched or followed, and some have experienced inexplicable phenomena such as disembodied voices or sudden gusts of wind that seem to whisper dark threats. The haunting of Yazoo is also marked by strange occurrences in the town itself. Residents have reported unexplained noises, such as the sound of footsteps echoing through empty streets, and the unsettling sensation of unseen eyes watching them from the shadows. Some claim to have seen spectral figures appearing in mirrors or windows, their ghostly forms reminiscent of the witch who once terrified the town. The legend of the Witch of Yazoo continues to captivate and terrify those who hear it, serving as a chilling reminder of the supernatural forces that are said to linger in the shadows. The ghostly figure of Margaret, bound by the sorrow and rage of her untimely end, remains a haunting presence, her spectral legacy a chilling testament to the enduring power of folklore and the supernatural.
For those who dare to delve into the legend of the Witch of Yazoo, the experience offers a spine-tingling encounter with a ghostly tale that has been etched into the fabric of Mississippi's dark and mysterious history. Now on to number 19, and we're off to Tennessee to learn about the haunted Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, where there are numerous reports of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomenon in this abandoned hospital.
Tucked away in the rolling hills of southeastern Tennessee, the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital stands as a relic of a bygone era. Its crumbling facade and weathered structure whispering secrets of a troubled past. This once bustling medical facility, which operated from 1959 to 1998, now serves as a haunting testament to the many tragedies and ghostly occurrences that have left their mark on its empty halls. Known for its eerie atmosphere and chilling reputation, the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital has earned its place as one of the most haunted locations in the region, where the shadows of the past seem to come alive with every creak and whisper. The hospital's history is marked by a series of events that contribute to its ghostly reputation. During its years of operation, the hospital was the site of numerous medical procedures, many of which were performed under the most harrowing and grim conditions. The facility saw its fair share of surgical mishaps, untimely deaths, and the suffering of countless patients, all of which have contributed to the lingering spectres that are said to haunt its corridors. One of the most chilling aspects of the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital's haunting is the reported sightings of ghostly figures throughout the building. Visitors and paranormal investigators alike have described encounters with shadowy apparitions moving through the darkened hallways and abandoned rooms. These spectral figures are often seen in old-fashioned hospital attire, adding a ghostly sense of continuity from the hospital's operational days. Witnesses have reported glimpsing these apparitions near the operating rooms, where the echoes of past procedures seem to linger in the air. One particularly notorious area of the hospital is the operating room, where many of the hospital's most unsettling events are said to have taken place. Those who have ventured into this room report an intense feeling of unease, accompanied by strange occurrences such as unexplained drops in temperature and the sound of disembodied voices. Some have even reported seeing ghostly figures, including those of former patients, appearing on the operating tables or lurking in the shadows of the room. The hospital's basement is another focal point for paranormal activity. The basement, once used for storage and medical waste, is said to be the site of particularly malevolent hauntings. Visitors have reported hearing the unsettling sound of chains dragging across the floor, as well as disembodied voices calling out in anguish. The oppressive atmosphere of the basement, combined with its dark and grim history, creates a chilling environment that adds to the overall sense of dread associated with the hospital. The Old South Pittsburgh Hospital is also known for its reports of unexplained phenomena, such as objects moving on their own and sudden, inexplicable gusts of wind. Items like medical equipment, furniture, and even personal belongings of the staff are said to shift or fall without any apparent cause. These occurrences, along with the eerie sounds of footsteps and whispers echoing through the empty halls, contribute to the hospital's reputation as a hotbed of supernatural activity. One particularly spine-chilling story involves the apparition of a young girl who is said to haunt the hospital. This spectral child, often described as wearing a hospital gown, is believed to have died under tragic circumstances. Witnesses have reported seeing her ghostly figure wandering the halls, accompanied by the sound of her soft, sorrowful cries. The presence of this child's ghost adds an additional layer of poignancy to the haunting, highlighting the tragic loss and suffering that permeates the hospital's history. The silence of the abandoned facility, broken only by the occasional creak of the old structure, creates an eerie backdrop for the ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena that are said to haunt its halls. For those brave enough to explore its haunted corridors, the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital offers a chilling glimpse into the supernatural legacy of a place forever marked by its troubled past.
The haunted history of the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital serves as a haunting reminder of the ghostly echoes of a previous era, where the past and present converge in a chilling dance of shadows and whispers. The ghostly figures and eerie occurrences that define the hospital's legacy continue to captivate and unsettle, making it a captivating destination for those intrigued by the paranormal and the mysteries that lie hidden within its walls. Find them on Facebook at Haunted Old South Pittsburgh Hospital if you'd care to book your own stay at the hospital to search out the ghostly presences. Now on to number 20, which is a classic inspired by Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This tale continues to haunt the area, particularly around Halloween. It's the tale of New York's Headless Horseman. I read Washington Irving at least once a year, and I'm particularly fond of his telling of Rip Van Winkle. Now let's find out about the Headless Horseman.
In the quiet, moonlit village of Sleepy Hollow, New York, where the misty night air wraps around the ancient trees and the winding roads seem to whisper secrets, a legend endures, a legend that stirs fear and fascination in equal measure. The tale of the Headless Horseman, a ghostly figure bound by a dark and tragic fate, has been a chilling part of American folklore for centuries. This spectral rider, without a head and brandishing a fiery pumpkin, roams the haunted landscape of Sleepy Hollow, his story a macabre blend of history and horror. The Headless Horseman's legend is deeply rooted in Washington Irving's classic short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, published in 1820. According to the tale, the horseman is the ghost of a Hessian soldier who was decapitated by a cannonball during the Revolutionary War. Since that fateful night, his restless spirit has been condemned to ride the roads of Sleepy Hollow in search of his missing head, forever cursed to seek vengeance on those who dared to cross his path. As night falls over Sleepy Hollow, the village transforms into a realm of shadows and whispers. The ancient trees, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers, seem to sway with the secrets of the past. The dimly lit streets, lined with historic homes and sleepy inns, are eerily quiet, save for the occasional rustle of the wind or the distant call of an owl. This is the setting for the Headless Horseman's haunting presence, a spectral figure whose appearance is both terrifying and enigmatic. The horseman's most fearsome characteristic is his complete lack of a head. Witnesses who have claimed to see him describe a ghostly rider on a powerful black steed, with a headless silhouette cloaked in darkness. In place of his missing head, the horseman is said to carry a carved pumpkin or, in some accounts, a glowing jack-o'-lantern, which he uses as a fearsome weapon. The fiery glow of the pumpkin is said to illuminate the night, casting an eerie light that adds to the horseman's menacing aura. One of the most infamous aspects of the Headless Horseman's legend is his terrifying pursuit of unsuspecting victims. According to local lore, the horseman is known to appear on dark, foggy nights, especially around the time of Halloween. His ghostly presence is marked by the thunderous sound of hooves pounding against the earth, a chilling reminder of his relentless chase. Those who encounter him often report an overwhelming sense of dread and the feeling of being watched or followed by a malevolent force. The most famous sighting of the Headless Horseman occurred in Irving's story, where the protagonist, Ichabod Crane, is pursued by the spectral rider as he makes his way home through the darkened woods. The chilling climax of the tale involves a dramatic confrontation between Ichabod and the Headless Horseman, with the rider hurling his flaming pumpkin at the terrified schoolteacher. The haunting ending leaves readers with a sense of lingering fear and the unsettling idea that the horseman's spectral presence might still be lurking in the shadows. Visitors to Sleepy Hollow often report experiencing strange occurrences that they attribute to the Headless Horseman's presence. Local legend suggests that those who wander too close to the old bridge where the horseman is said to appear may encounter strange sounds, such as the clatter of hooves or the eerie glow of a pumpkin light. The bridge itself, with its weathered wood and creaking boards, adds to the overall sense of foreboding and mystery surrounding the horseman's legend. As Halloween approaches, Sleepy Hollow becomes a focal point for ghostly events and supernatural tours. The village's dark history and the legend of the Headless Horseman are brought to life through reenactments, haunted tours, and community events that celebrate the eerie tale. The combination of history, folklore, and the natural beauty of the area create an atmosphere that is both captivating and chilling, making Sleepy Hollow a prime destination for those intrigued by the supernatural.
The legend of the Headless Horseman remains a powerful tale that shapes our understanding of the past. His thundering rides through Sleepy Hollow serve as a chilling witness to the enduring power of folklore and the dark mysteries that linger in the night. For those who dare to confront the shadows of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman offers a haunting encounter with a legend that continues to captivate and terrify. And now we're off to San Diego, California, to the spooky Whaley House. This house is often referred to as the most haunted house in America. It was built on the site of a former gallows and is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who were executed there, including the Whaley family members who lived in the house. Let's find out why.
In the heart of San Diego, California, amid the bustling streets and modernity of a thriving city, stands a relic from the past. A house with a reputation so steeped in eerie lore that it has earned its place as one of the most haunted locations in America. The Whaley House, an elegant 19th century residence located on the corner of San Diego Avenue and Harney Street, is infamous not just for its historical significance, but for the chilling supernatural activity that allegedly permeates its walls. Constructed in 1857 by Thomas Whaley, the Whaley House was originally intended to be the grand family home of the Whaley clan. With its classic Greek Revival architecture, spacious rooms, and lavish decor, it was a symbol of prosperity and ambition. However, the house's opulent facade belies a darker history, one marked by tragedy, death, and a legacy of haunting that continues to captivate and terrify visitors to this day. The Whaley House's reputation as a haunted location is closely tied to the tragic events that unfolded within its walls. The first of these was the death of Thomas Whaley's young daughter, Violet, who was said to have taken her own life in one of the upstairs bedrooms. Violet's spirit is frequently reported as one of the many ghostly presences in the house. Her apparition said to be seen wandering the halls or appearing in the shadows of the rooms she once occupied. Visitors have described fleeting glimpses of a young girl in period clothing, accompanied by a palpable sense of sorrow and melancholy. Another ghostly figure associated with the Whaley House is that of the infamous Yankee Jim Robinson, a convicted felon who was hanged on the property in 1852, 5 years before the Whaley House was even built. Robinson's execution took place just outside the house, and many believe his spirit has since become entangled with the property. Reports of Robinson's presence include the sounds of heavy footsteps and the feeling of being watched, as well as unexplained noises and movements that evoke the restless energy of a man who met a violent and untimely end. The haunting of the Whaley House is also marked by a series of strange and unsettling phenomena that have been reported by visitors and staff alike. One of the most common occurrences is the inexplicable sound of footsteps echoing through the empty rooms, even when no one is present. These footsteps are often described as echoing in a deliberate, rhythmic pattern, as though someone is pacing the halls in search of something or someone. The house's grand staircase, with its creaking wooden steps and elaborate railing, is another focal point of paranormal activity. Guests have reported hearing the sound of footsteps ascending or descending the stairs, accompanied by the sensation of a cold breeze brushing against their skin. Some have even claimed to see ghostly figures at the top of the stairs, their presence marked by a sudden drop in temperature and an overwhelming sense of unease. The Whaley House's basement, once used as a theater and later a courtroom, is also a hotspot for ghostly encounters. Visitors have reported hearing strange noises, such as disembodied voices or the sound of something being dragged across the floor. The basement's dark and musty atmosphere adds to the overall sense of foreboding, making it a particularly unsettling area of the house. In addition to these ghostly apparitions and phenomena, the Whaley House is known for its eerie and unexplained occurrences. Objects have been reported moving on their own, lights flickering without cause, and doors opening or closing by themselves. These paranormal events contribute to the house's reputation as a site of continuous and intense supernatural activity. The combination of the house's architectural grandeur and its dark past creates a setting ripe for the supernatural, where the echoes of the past seem to come alive in the dim light of evening. For those who dare to explore its haunted halls, the Whaley House offers a chilling encounter with a legacy of ghostly presences and spectral phenomena.
The Whaley House remains a powerful symbol of the intersection between history and the supernatural. For visitors and paranormal enthusiasts alike, the Whaley House stands as a haunting reminder of the dark mysteries that lie hidden within the shadows of the past. On your next trip to San Diego, you can schedule your own visit to the haunted Whaley House by visiting whaleyhousesandiego.com. Now, number 22 is in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and it's not so much a location as it is a curse. The curse of the Hope Diamond. This infamous gem is said to bring misfortune and tragedy to its owners, leading to talks of hauntings and mysterious deaths.
Deep within the heart of Washington, D.C., amid the grandeur of the nation's capital and the historic allure of its museums, lies a tale of unrivaled beauty and chilling malevolence. The Hope Diamond, one of the most famous and exquisite gemstones in the world, is not only renowned for its stunning deep blue hue but also for the dark and sinister curse that is said to accompany it. This legendary diamond, currently housed in the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of Natural History, carries with it a macabre legacy that has fascinated and terrified for over a century. The Hope Diamond's storied history begins in the depths of the 17th century, when it was originally mined in India. It is said to have been stolen from a sacred temple, a transgression that is believed to have set the stage for the curse that would follow. The diamond was later acquired by a French merchant, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, who brought it to Europe, where it would become infamous for the tragedies that befell those who possessed it. The curse of the Hope Diamond truly began to take shape with its acquisition by King Louis XIV of France in the late 1600s. The diamond, originally known as the French blue, was set into the royal regalia, and its beauty dazzled the court of Versailles. However, the curse's grip tightened when the French Revolution led to the downfall of the French monarchy. The Hope Diamond was stolen during the upheaval, and its subsequent whereabouts remained shrouded in mystery for years. The legend of the curse truly took hold when the diamond resurfaced in the 19th century, having passed through the hands of various owners who met untimely and often violent ends. One notable victim of the diamond's supposed curse was the gem's next prominent owner, the wealthy socialite Evelyn Walsh McLean. McLean, who purchased the diamond in 1911, became one of its most famous and tragic possessors. Her life was marred by a series of personal tragedies and misfortunes, including the deaths of her husband, children, and even her own financial ruin. These events were widely attributed to the curse of the Hope Diamond, which seemed to bring a shadow of despair to those who possessed it. McLean's daughter, who had inherited the diamond, also faced a series of unfortunate events, further cementing the diamond's reputation for malevolence. It was said that the Hope Diamond was the cause of countless misfortunes, from failed businesses to broken relationships, all of which seemed to follow those who owned it. The diamond's journey eventually led it to the hands of the Smithsonian Institution, where it has been on display since 1958. While the diamond itself remains safely housed within the museum's security, the stories of its curse continue to captivate and unsettle those who learn about its dark history. Visitors to the museum often report a sense of unease when viewing the diamond, as though the malevolent aura of the gem still lingers despite its secure and tranquil surroundings. The curse of the Hope Diamond is said to manifest in various ways. Some claim to experience a cold chill or a sudden sense of dread while near the diamond, as though the gemstone's dark energy is seeping through the museum's walls. Others have reported feeling a strange weight or pressure when standing in its presence, adding to the eerie reputation of the cursed gem. The curse of the diamond continues to intrigue and terrify, a chilling testament to the power of folklore and the lingering influence of the supernatural. For those who delve into the mystery of the Hope Diamond, the tale serves as a captivating glimpse into the eerie and enigmatic world of cursed treasures and the restless spirits that may still haunt them.
The Hope Diamond's dark, spooky legacy endures as a symbol of the intersection between beauty and malevolence, where the allure of a priceless gem is forever entwined with the chilling whispers of a curse that continues to capture the imagination and haunt the minds of those who encounter its storied past. I'm just glad that the Smithsonian has it safely on display, where hopefully no one else will ever wear it and succumb to the dreaded curse. A curse that has already reportedly been responsible for the tragic, untimely end of more than 15 lives. Next, we go to the state of Illinois, where there are many tales of the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. The former president's spirit is said to haunt various locations, including the White House and his home in Springfield. I've imagined many times going back in time and spending time with the former president, but it would be utterly creepy to encounter him as a ghost.
In the quiet, historical streets of Springfield, Illinois, where the legacy of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, is deeply embedded in the fabric of the city. There exists a chilling and enduring legend, the ghostly presence of Abraham Lincoln himself. The spectral figure of Lincoln, often seen roaming the corridors of his former home and other historic sites, adds a haunting dimension to the rich tapestry of history that surrounds his life and legacy. The story of Lincoln's ghost begins with his tragic assassination at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. on 14 April 1865. The president's death, marked by a moment of profound national sorrow, left a deep and lasting impact on the nation. According to legend, Lincoln's spirit, burdened by the weight of his unfinished work and the grief of his untimely death, has lingered in Springfield. Returning to the places that were once so significant in his life. One of the most famous locations associated with Lincoln's ghost is the Lincoln Home National Historic Site in Springfield. The Victorian-era home, where Lincoln lived with his family from 1844 until he left for the White House in 1861, is said to be haunted by the president's apparition. Visitors and staff at the home have reported eerie encounters with a ghostly figure resembling Lincoln himself. Descriptions of these sightings often include a tall, solemn figure dressed in period-appropriate attire with a face marked by an expression of deep thought or sadness. The most common reports involve the sensation of a chill or an unexplained drop in temperature when near certain rooms or areas of the house. Some visitors have reported hearing the faint sound of footsteps echoing through the empty halls or the rustling of papers in the study, as if the president's ghost is still busy with matters of state. Others have described the sight of a spectral figure gazing out of the windows, as though watching over the city that was once his home. The legend of Lincoln's ghost extends beyond his former home to other historic sites in Springfield. The old state capitol, where Lincoln delivered his famous speeches and conducted his political business, is also reputed to be haunted by his spirit. Witnesses have reported seeing a ghostly figure walking the halls of the Capitol, and some claim to have heard the faint, haunting sound of Lincoln's voice echoing through the building. The sense of his presence in these hallowed halls adds a layer of solemnity and reverence to the historic site. Another site linked to Lincoln's ghostly presence is the Lincoln Tomb in Oak Ridge Cemetery, where the president is buried. The cemetery is a place of pilgrimage for those honoring Lincoln's memory, but it is also said to be the site of spectral activity. Visitors to the tomb have reported experiencing an eerie sense of being watched or followed, and some have even claimed to see a shadowy figure near the tombstone or the mausoleum, believed to be Lincoln himself. The ghostly sightings of Lincoln are often accompanied by a sense of profound sadness or reflection. The apparition is described as a figure who appears to be deeply engaged in thought, as if still contemplating the weight of his presidency and the challenges he faced. This solemn and contemplative presence adds a haunting dimension to the legend, reflecting the gravity of Lincoln's legacy and the enduring impact of his life and death. The ghostly presence of Abraham Lincoln, with its chilling and poignant manifestations, serves as a haunting reminder of the president's enduring influence and the mysteries that continue to surround his life and legacy.
For those who seek to encounter the spectral side of history, the ghost of Abraham Lincoln offers a compelling and unnerving glimpse into the life of one of America's most revered figures. His haunting presence in the places that were once significant to his life provides us once again with the inexplicable evidence of the spirits beyond the veil of death. A visit to his gravesite is well worth your time. It has its own creepy story. When there was a serious attempt in 1876 to kidnap the president's body from his grave. The plot to steal Lincoln's body was hatched by a gang of counterfeits based in Chicago. Their goal was to ransom his body for $200,000 in gold and secure the release of their imprisoned leader, Benjamin Boyd, a top engraver of counterfeit currency. The plan was to break into Lincoln's tomb at Oak Ridge Cemetery in Springfield, Illinois, on the night of November 7, 1876. They intended to steal the body and hide it in the Indiana sand dunes until their demands were met. However, the plot was foiled thanks to a tip given to the United States Secret Service. They had infiltrated the gang and were waiting for the thieves at the cemetery. The conspirators managed to open Lincoln's sarcophagus, but fled the scene when the authorities arrived. After this attempted grave robbery, Lincoln's body was moved to a more secure location within the tomb. Eventually, in 1901, his body was buried in a steel cage 10 feet underground, encased in concrete to prevent any future attempts at theft. This event remains one of the more bizarre and lesser-known aspects of Lincoln's legacy. It's sad but true how far criminals will go in their efforts for money, and how much they will lie to avoid the consequences of their actions once they're caught and tried. Okay, number 24 on our list is at West Virginia's haunted Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. This former asylum has a dark history of mistreatment and is known for numerous ghost sightings.
Nestled amidst the rugged hills of Weston, West Virginia, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum stands as a foreboding monument to a bygone era of mental health care. Known for its grand Gothic Revival architecture and its grim history, this sprawling asylum has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in the United States. With its dark past and unsettling atmosphere, the asylum offers a chilling glimpse into the supernatural and the tragic stories that haunt its corridors. Constructed between 1858 and 1881, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum was once a state-of-the-art facility designed to house the mentally ill in a more humane and spacious environment. However, over time, the asylum's conditions deteriorated, and the institution became infamous for its overcrowding, mistreatment of patients, and the harsh, often inhumane practices that were employed in the name of psychiatric care. By the time it closed its doors in 1994, the asylum had become a symbol of medical neglect and suffering,
leaving behind a legacy that would fuel its ghostly reputation. The asylum's haunting reputation is closely tied to its history of suffering and neglect. The facility was designed to accommodate 250 patients, but by the early 1900s, it housed over 2,400 individuals, far exceeding its intended capacity. The overcrowding led to deplorable conditions, including inadequate medical treatment, unsanitary environments, and a lack of proper facilities. These grim realities, combined with reports of experimental treatments and abusive practices, have left a lingering sense of anguish and unrest within the asylum's walls. One of the most notorious aspects of the asylum's haunting is the reported sightings of ghostly figures throughout the building. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported encountering shadowy apparitions, often seen moving through the dimly lit hallways and abandoned rooms. These spectral figures are said to include former patients and staff, their ghostly forms appearing in period clothing or medical attire, as if forever bound to the institution they once inhabited. One particularly eerie area of the asylum is the old surgical and treatment rooms. The remnants of outdated medical equipment and the stark, sterile atmosphere contribute to the sense of dread that pervades these spaces. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, the sound of footsteps echoing through the empty halls, and even the eerie sensation of being touched or followed by an unseen presence. The oppressive and unsettling atmosphere of these rooms adds to the overall sense of horror that defines the asylum's haunting. The asylum's infamous B wing, with its long, dark corridors and decaying infrastructure, is another focal point of paranormal activity. Reports from visitors and investigators describe a palpable sense of unease in this section of the building, with some claiming to have seen ghostly figures peering out from the doorways or felt an overwhelming sense of dread while exploring the area. The echoes of the past seem to resonate strongly within the confines of B wing, adding to its reputation as a hotspot for supernatural occurrences. One of the most chilling accounts associated with the asylum is the story of a young girl who is said to haunt the facility. The ghost of this girl, often described as a small, ethereal figure in a white dress, is believed to have died under tragic circumstances. Witnesses have reported seeing her apparition wandering the halls, accompanied by the sound of her soft, mournful cries. The presence of this spectral child adds a haunting and poignant dimension to the asylum's ghostly lore. The darkness of the abandoned facility, combined with the echoes of its troubled past, creates a setting ripe for supernatural encounters. The asylum's haunted reputation serves as a chilling reminder of the suffering that once took place within its walls and the restless spirits that may still linger, bound by the tragic history of their former home.
Well, for those brave enough to explore its haunted corridors, the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum offers a spine-tingling encounter with a legacy of paranormal activity and spectral presence. The ghostly figures, eerie sounds, and unsettling atmosphere of the asylum make it a compelling and chilling destination for those intrigued by the supernatural and the dark stories that continue to haunt its historic halls. Now on to number 25. Back to St. Augustine, Florida, where you can find the spirit of the old jail, which is believed to be haunted by former inmates, with reports of ghostly encounters.
In the shadowy heart of St. Augustine, Florida, the oldest city in the United States, there stands a foreboding relic from a bygone era, the old jail. Built in 1891, this imposing structure once served as the city's primary detention center, housing criminals and miscreants behind its thick iron bars and towering walls. Today, the old jail is not only a historical landmark but also a hotspot for paranormal activity, earning a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Florida. The spectral echoes of its grim past continue to reverberate through its darkened halls, creating an unsettling and eerie atmosphere that lingers long after the sun has set. The old jail's haunted reputation is deeply intertwined with its history of hardship and suffering. Designed by architect A. W. Smith in a stark, utilitarian style, the jail was notorious for its harsh conditions and brutal treatment of prisoners. The facility housed many inmates over the decades, including those awaiting trial, those serving short-term sentences, and even the occasional death row inmate. The grim reality of life within the jail's walls, coupled with its history of unrest and violence, has left a haunting legacy that still haunts its corridors today. One of the most well-documented spirits associated with the old jail is that of a former inmate named the Screaming Lady. Legend has it that this woman was imprisoned under particularly harsh conditions, and her death in the jail was both tragic and violent. Her restless spirit is said to be heard wandering the halls, her anguished cries and screams echoing through the empty corridors. Visitors and staff alike have reported hearing these chilling sounds, often without any apparent source. The sound of her screams serves as a haunting reminder of the suffering endured within the jail's walls. Another notable apparition linked to the old jail is that of a shadowy figure known as the Ghost of the Guard. This spectral presence is believed to be that of a former prison guard who met an untimely and violent end. Witnesses have reported seeing a dark, menacing figure patrolling the jail's corridors, often accompanied by the unsettling sensation of being watched or followed. The ghostly guard's presence is said to be most strongly felt near the old guard tower, where his shadowy form is often seen moving silently through the darkened space. The jail's notorious death row area is also a focal point for paranormal activity. This section of the jail, where condemned inmates awaited their final moments, is believed to be particularly haunted. Visitors to the area have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, accompanied by sudden drops in temperature and unexplained noises. The oppressive atmosphere of the death row cells adds to the chilling feeling that something unseen and malevolent may still linger within the space. One particularly eerie aspect of the old jail's haunting is the phenomenon of unexplained cold spots. Throughout the building, visitors and investigators have reported encountering sudden, localized drops in temperature, often accompanied by a feeling of intense cold that seems to have no logical source. These cold spots are believed to be linked to the presence of restless spirits, their spectral energy manifesting as an icy chill that penetrates the very fabric of the jail. The old jail's most chilling feature is perhaps its isolation and darkness. The narrow, dimly lit hallways and iron-barred cells create a maze of shadows and eerie silence, making it easy for the mind to play tricks and imagine the presence of ghostly figures lurking just out of sight. The combination of the jail's grim history and its dark, oppressive atmosphere makes it a compelling setting for ghostly encounters and supernatural experiences.
Well, how creepy is that? For those who dare to explore its haunted halls, the old jail offers a spine-tingling journey into the past, where the spirits of the past continue to wander and make their presence known. The haunting of the old jail serves as a chilling reminder of the suffering and injustice that once took place within its walls, and the restless spirits that may still be bound by the memories of their former confinement. Now on to number 26, which is a favorite of mine. I've never seen one of these creatures, but my bones get chilled at the very thought of coming across one of these during my walks around my neighborhood or out in the woods. Very creepy. Of course, I'm speaking of the famed chupacabra of Puerto Rico. This creature has become a part of folklore, with reports of mysterious livestock killings and eerie sightings.
In the lush, tropical landscapes of Puerto Rico, where verdant jungles and rolling hills give way to the mysteries of the night, a legend lurks in the shadows, a sinister creature that has haunted the island's folklore for decades. Known as the chupacabra, or goatsucker, this elusive and fearsome entity has become one of the most infamous cryptids in modern myth, casting a dark and chilling shadow over the island with its horrifying reputation. The legend of the chupacabra first emerged in the mid-1990s, amid a spate of mysterious livestock deaths across Puerto Rico. Described by terrified locals and bewildered farmers, the creature was said to leave behind a trail of blood and devastation, targeting domestic animals such as goats, chickens, and cattle. The common thread in these reports was the strange and unexplained manner in which the animals were killed. Each victim was found drained of its blood, with puncture wounds on their necks, as if the life force had been systematically siphoned away. Witnesses who have claimed to see the chupacabra describe it as a nightmarish creature with an unsettling appearance. Some accounts depict it as a reptilian beast with scaly skin, glowing red eyes, and a row of spines running down its back. Others describe it as a more alien-like figure, with a hairless, gray body and sharp, predatory features. Regardless of the specific description, the chupacabra is universally portrayed as a grotesque and menacing entity, instilling fear and revulsion wherever it is said to appear. One particularly eerie aspect of the chupacabra legend is the creature's purported ability to move silently and stealthily through the night. Many reports describe the chupacabra as a ghostly presence, capable of vanishing without a trace and leaving behind only the grisly aftermath of its attacks. This elusive nature has only fueled the mystery and fear surrounding the creature, as the chupacabra seems to strike without warning and then disappear into the darkness. In addition to the disturbing tales of animal attacks, there are also reports of the chupacabra being associated with strange and unexplained phenomena. Some witnesses claim to have seen bizarre lights or unusual energy fields in the areas where the creature has been sighted. These paranormal elements add an additional layer of intrigue and dread to the legend, suggesting that the chupacabra may be connected to otherworldly forces or extraterrestrial influences. The chupacabra's haunting presence extends beyond Puerto Rico, with similar reports emerging from other parts of Latin America and the Caribbean. The creature has become a symbol of fear and mystery across the region, its legend spreading and evolving with each new account. Despite the widespread reports and sightings, however, no conclusive evidence has ever been found to definitively prove the existence of the chupacabra, leaving its true nature and origins shrouded in mystery. The dense forests, shadowed by the moonlight, become the perfect setting for the creature's alleged hauntings, with the sounds of rustling leaves and distant animal cries adding to the sense of unease. The chupacabra's dark legend continues to capture the imagination and fears of those who live in its shadow, serving as a chilling reminder of the unknown terrors that may lurk just beyond the reach of human understanding.
For those who venture into the heart of Puerto Rico's wilderness, the tale of the chupacabra offers a spine-tingling encounter with a creature of the night, forever entwined with the island's folklore and the eerie mysteries of its haunted landscapes. Like I said, I'd hate to meet one of these creatures, especially since they seem to only come out at night. Okay, now on to number 27 on our spooky Halloween episode list. This one is from Arizona, with the Tombstone, Arizona's Ghost of the Old West. Many old mining towns like Tombstone have tales of ghostly cowboys and gunfights still echoing through the streets.
In the arid expanses of southeastern Arizona, where the rugged landscape meets the sun-scorched skies, lies a town steeped in Wild West legend and lore. Tombstone, famously known as the town too tough to die, is not only celebrated for its storied past but also for its spectral inhabitants. The ghosts of the Old West seem to linger in the dusty streets and historic buildings of this once boisterous frontier town, adding a chilling layer to its already vivid historical tapestry. Tombstone's history is woven with tales of gunfights, saloon brawls, and lawlessness, making it a magnet for ghostly legends. The town's most famous spectral tale is tied to its infamous past, particularly the events surrounding the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. The spirit of this dramatic showdown continues to haunt the town, with numerous reports of ghostly figures and eerie phenomena associated with the site. One of the most haunted locations in Tombstone is the OK Corral itself, the scene of the fateful gunfight between the Earp brothers, Doc Holliday, and the Clanton McGlory gang. Visitors to the site often report strange occurrences, such as the inexplicable sound of gunfire echoing through the empty streets or the sight of shadowy figures resembling the old-time outlaws. The sense of tension and drama from that fateful day seems to linger, creating a chilling atmosphere that resonates with the echoes of the past. Another prominent haunt in Tombstone is the Bird Cage Theater, a once thriving entertainment hub during the town's heyday. Known for its raucous performances and colorful clientele, the Bird Cage Theater has also gained a reputation for its ghostly residents. Paranormal investigators and visitors alike have reported hearing disembodied laughter, the clinking of glasses, and the faint strains of old-time music emanating from the darkened corners of the theater. The presence of spectral performers and patrons adds a hauntingly atmospheric touch to the already eerie setting. The Crystal Palace Saloon, another historic site in Tombstone, is also rumored to be haunted by the spirits of its former patrons. The saloon, known for its lively entertainment and libations, has been the site of numerous ghostly encounters. Witnesses have described seeing apparitions of cowboys and gamblers from the old days, their spectral forms appearing as though they were frozen in time. The ghostly figures often seem to interact with the living, creating an unsettling but fascinating connection to the past. One particularly eerie tale involves the ghost of a young girl who is said to haunt the Tombstone courthouse. The girl's spectral presence is often reported by those who visit the courthouse, with stories of her ghostly figure appearing in the shadows or the sound of her ghostly footsteps echoing through the historic building. The origin of this haunting is steeped in local legend, adding a layer of sorrow and mystery to the already haunted atmosphere of the courthouse. As the sun sets over Tombstone and the shadows lengthen, the town takes on a more ghostly and spectral quality. The historic streets, with their weathered facades and old-time charm, become a stage for the lingering spirits of the Old West. The ghosts of Tombstone's past seem to walk among the living, their stories and spectral presences adding to the rich, haunting tapestry of this legendary frontier town.
For those who seek a spine-tingling encounter with the supernatural, Tombstone offers a haunting journey through the ghosts of the Old West. The town's historic sites and ghostly legends provide a chilling and captivating glimpse into the past, where the spirits of cowboys, gamblers, hardy women, and outlaws continue to roam, forever etched in the annals of Tombstone's haunted history. Now on to Louisiana and the haunted Oak Alley Plantation, which is known for its ghostly legends and eerie atmospheres. The plantation has a rich and haunting history.
In the heart of Louisiana's bayou country, amidst the dense, moss-draped trees and the slow-moving waters of the Mississippi River, lies Oak Alley Plantation. A grand estate steeped in southern elegance and haunted by its troubled past. Known for its picturesque beauty and historic charm, Oak Alley also harbors a darker, spectral side, where the echoes of its history seem to linger in the twilight. The plantation, named for its stunning alley of ancient oak trees that lead to the Grand House, was built in the early 19th century by the wealthy Carondelet family. The estate quickly became a symbol of opulence and grandeur, with its classic antebellum architecture and lush, expansive grounds. However, behind the beauty and grace of Oak Alley lies a history marked by hardship and tragedy, leaving a legacy of restless spirits and eerie occurrences. One of the most prominent spectral figures associated with Oak Alley is the ghost of Josephine, the daughter of the plantation's original owner, Jack Roman. Josephine's tragic story is said to be the source of much of the hauntings at the plantation. Legend has it that Josephine fell in love with a young man who was not deemed suitable by her family. Heartbroken and desperate, she is said to have taken her own life, leaving behind a tragic and haunting presence. Visitors and staff at Oak Alley have reported sightings of a ghostly woman in a period dress, often seen wandering the grounds or standing forlornly beneath the oak trees. Her apparition is said to be accompanied by an overwhelming sense of sadness and melancholy, as if she is forever bound by the pain of her untimely end. The grand house itself is not immune to spectral activity. The sounds of disembodied footsteps, unexplained creaks, and whispers are commonly reported by those who venture into the historic rooms. The old plantation house, with its creaking floors and shadowed corners, seems to be alive with the echoes of the past. Some guests have even reported seeing ghostly figures through the windows, only to find the rooms empty upon investigation. The eerie and unsettling atmosphere of the house adds a chilling dimension to the plantation's already haunted reputation. The oak-lined alleyway that gives the plantation its name is also a focal point for paranormal activity. The ancient trees, with their gnarled branches and draping Spanish moss, create a hauntingly beautiful tunnel that seems to harbor its own spectral secrets. Visitors have reported feeling a chilling breeze or an inexplicable sense of being watched as they walk beneath the canopy of oaks. The quiet, eerie silence of the alleyway is occasionally broken by the sound of rustling leaves or the distant, mournful cry of what some believe to be Josephine's ghostly lament. The plantation slave quarters, now restored and preserved as part of the historic site, also hold their own spectral tales. The quarters, which once housed the estate's enslaved population, are believed to be haunted by the spirits of those who lived and labored there. Reports of ghostly figures and unexplained noises, such as the sound of footsteps or soft, mournful voices, are common in this area. The presence of these spirits adds a somber and reflective dimension to the plantation's haunted history, highlighting the legacy of hardship and suffering that has left its mark on Oak Alley. Each night, as darkness falls over Oak Alley Plantation, the grand estate takes on an even more eerie and unsettling aura. The darkened rooms, the whispering trees, and the spectral figures that seem to move through the shadows create a chilling atmosphere that is both haunting and captivating. The ghosts of Oak Alley's past continue to roam the grounds and the historic house, their stories and spectral presences adding to the plantation's rich and haunted legacy.
For those who seek a spine-tingling encounter with the supernatural, Oak Alley Plantation offers a ghostly journey through a world where beauty and tragedy intertwine. The estate's haunted history and the restless spirits that inhabit its grounds provide a chilling glimpse into the past, making it a compelling destination for those intrigued by the mysteries of the supernatural. You can book a room and spend the night in the Oak Alley Plantation. Visit them on the web at oakalleyplantation.com. It would be a beautiful place to spend a night or three. On to number 29 on our list. It's from Vicksburg, Mississippi, where there are evidently phantom soldiers. These are the ghostly apparitions of soldiers who are said to roam the battlefield, recounting the events of the Civil War. If you recall, the battles at Vicksburg, Mississippi were particularly brutal in the American Civil War, and I'm sure there is some basis in fact for phantom soldiers being in the area. Let's find out more.
In the rolling hills of Vicksburg, Mississippi, where the echoes of the past resonate through the landscape, a haunting tale persists, one of spectral soldiers and eerie apparitions that stir beneath the moonlit skies. Known for its pivotal role in the American Civil War, Vicksburg's historic battlegrounds are now the stage for a chilling and ghostly legacy. The phantom soldiers of Vicksburg are said to be the restless spirits of those who fought and died in the siege of Vicksburg, their stories haunting the very ground where their lives were once so violently cut short. The siege of Vicksburg, a crucial and grueling campaign in the Civil War, lasted from May 18th to July 4th, 1863. It was a brutal and protracted battle, marked by relentless fighting, suffering, and death. The Confederate forces, defending the city, faced the Union Army's relentless assaults and sieges, resulting in a high casualty rate and a profound sense of anguish that still lingers in the air. The battlefield, now preserved as the Vicksburg National Military Park, is the epicenter of the paranormal activity that continues to captivate and terrify visitors. One of the most eerie and well-documented manifestations of the phantom soldiers is the recurring sight of ghostly figures on the battlefield. Witnesses have reported seeing spectral soldiers in period uniforms, their ghostly forms appearing as translucent shadows against the backdrop of the historic landscape. These apparitions are often seen moving silently among the monuments and cannon placements, as if reenacting the final moments of their tragic battle. The sight of these ghostly figures, seemingly frozen in time, adds a haunting dimension to the already somber atmosphere of the battlefield. The sounds of the battlefield are also a source of spectral disturbance. Visitors to the Vicksburg National Military Park have reported hearing disembodied voices and the distant sounds of battle, cannon fire, musket shots, and the clamor of soldiers in combat. These unsettling noises often occur without any visible source, creating an atmosphere of eerie and haunting realism. The sounds of the past seem to echo through the night, as if the ghosts of the soldiers are still reliving the chaos and carnage of their final conflict. Another chilling aspect of the phantom soldiers is the phenomenon of unexplained cold spots and sudden temperature drops. Throughout the battlefield and the nearby cemetery, visitors have reported encountering areas of intense cold, often accompanied by a feeling of being watched or followed. These cold spots are believed to be connected to the presence of the spectral soldiers, their ghostly energy manifesting as a physical chill that permeates the air. The Vicksburg National Cemetery, where many of the fallen soldiers were laid to rest, is also a site of notable paranormal activity. The cemetery, with its rows of white headstones marking the resting places of countless soldiers, is often the focus of ghostly encounters. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly figures among the graves, their spectral forms appearing as fleeting shadows or indistinct shapes. The cemetery's somber and reflective atmosphere is further enhanced by these ghostly sightings, adding to the haunting experience of those who visit. One particularly eerie tale involves the ghost of a young Confederate soldier said to wander the battlefield with a look of anguish and confusion. This spirit, often described as a disheveled and forlorn figure, is believed to be the soul of a soldier who perished far from his intended resting place. Witnesses have reported seeing his apparition near the site of a significant battle, his ghostly presence adding a poignant and tragic element to the battlefield's haunted history. The Vicksburg battlefields and cemeteries take on an even more spectral and chilling ambience once the sun sets. The combination of the historic significance, the tragic loss of life, and the lingering spirits of the past create a haunting atmosphere that captivates and unsettles those who venture into this storied landscape. The phantom soldiers of Vicksburg continue to roam the fields and graveyards, their spectral presence a haunting reminder of the sacrifices made and the battles fought on this historic ground.
For those intrigued by the supernatural, Vicksburg offers a spine-tingling journey into the realm of ghostly encounters and historic human tragedy. The phantom soldiers, with their ghostly appearances and eerie manifestations, provide a chilling glimpse into the past, making the Vicksburg battlefields a compelling destination for those fascinated by the mysteries of the paranormal. Now on to number 30, which is Savannah, Georgia. And not just one place in Savannah, but the entire city. This city is filled with ghost stories, including reports of spirits in historic homes and the infamous Bonaventure Cemetery. Let's find out more.
Nestled on the southeastern coast of Georgia, Savannah is often celebrated for its picturesque beauty and rich history. With its moss-draped oaks, cobblestone streets, and elegant antebellum architecture, Savannah exudes a charm that draws visitors from far and wide. However, beneath its genteel facade lies a city steeped in haunting tales and ghostly legends. Savannah is often regarded as one of the most haunted cities in America, its spectral history adding a chilling layer to its southern allure. Savannah's haunted reputation is closely tied to its tumultuous past. Founded in 1733, the city has witnessed centuries of history, from Revolutionary and Civil War battles to periods of prosperity and hardship. This long and storied history has left an indelible mark on the city, and many believe that the spirits of its past still linger, haunting the streets and historic buildings. One of the most infamous haunted locations in Savannah is the Marshall House, a historic hotel that dates back to 1851. During the Civil War, the building was used as a hospital for wounded soldiers, and the echoes of its grim past are said to reverberate through its walls. Guests and staff at the Marshall House have reported numerous paranormal encounters, including disembodied footsteps, the sound of ghostly moans, and the sudden appearance of spectral figures. The most commonly reported ghost is that of a young girl who is said to wander the hallways, her presence marked by the scent of lavender and the sound of a child's laughter. Another hauntingly memorable location is the Bonaventure Cemetery, a sprawling and atmospheric graveyard known for its ornate tombs and majestic oak trees draped in Spanish moss. The cemetery, with its tranquil beauty and eerie ambience, has become a focal point for ghostly sightings and supernatural occurrences. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly figures among the graves, hearing unexplained whispers, and experiencing sudden drops in temperature. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt Bonaventure is that of Gracie Watson, a young girl who died in 1889 and whose family commissioned a life-size statue in her memory. The statue, often described as hauntingly lifelike, is said to be connected to Gracie's ghost, with numerous reports of the statue's eyes seeming to follow visitors or even shedding tears. The historic Savannah Theater, which has been entertaining audiences since 1818, is also renowned for its ghostly residents. The theater's long history and numerous renovations have contributed to its haunted reputation. Patrons and staff have reported seeing ghostly figures on stage, hearing unexplained noises, and experiencing sudden cold spots. One of the most persistent legends is that of a ghostly actress who appears to be rehearsing for a performance or searching for her lost stage costumes. Her presence adds a ghostly touch to the theater's already rich history of live entertainment. One particularly eerie story involves the Old Pink House, a historic restaurant housed in a building dating back to the late 18th century. The Old Pink House, known for its southern cuisine and charming atmosphere, is also rumored to be haunted by the spirits of those who lived and worked there. Visitors and staff have reported strange occurrences, such as the sound of ghostly laughter, sudden cold spots, and unexplained phenomena in the restaurant's basement. One notable ghost is that of a former resident, believed to be a woman who once resided in the house and now appears as a shadowy figure, her presence adding to the restaurant's haunted reputation. Savannah's haunted history takes on an even more chilling and atmospheric quality at night. The combination of the city's historic architecture, the lingering presence of its spectral residents, and the eerie beauty of its cobblestone streets creates an atmosphere of suspense and intrigue. Savannah's ghostly legends and haunted locations offer a spine-tingling journey into the supernatural, where the spirits of the past continue to make their presence known.
For those seeking a ghostly encounter, Savannah, Georgia provides a hauntingly memorable experience where the line between history and the supernatural blurs in the shadowy corners of this historic city. The ghosts of Savannah's past, with their spectral appearances and eerie manifestations, offer a chilling glimpse into the city's haunted history, making it a compelling destination for those fascinated by the mysteries of the paranormal. And finally, dear listeners, number 31, for the 31 days of October and Halloween. We wrap up this episode with a trip to California's Ghosts of the Hotel del Coronado. This historic hotel is rumored to be haunted by the spirit of a bride who died there under mysterious circumstances. Let's find out more.
Perched on the sun-kissed shores of Coronado Island in California, the Hotel del Coronado stands as a beacon of historic grandeur and seaside charm. With its iconic Victorian architecture, sprawling lawns, and breathtaking ocean views, the hotel has long been a glamorous retreat for celebrities, dignitaries, and travelers from around the world. Yet, beneath its opulent exterior and storied past, the Hotel del Coronado is also home to some of the most enduring and eerie ghostly legends on the West Coast. The hotel's haunted reputation is deeply intertwined with its history, making it a compelling destination for those intrigued by the supernatural. One of the most famous and chilling tales associated with the Hotel del Coronado is the legend of Kate Morgan, a young woman whose tragic story has become synonymous with the hotel's ghostly lore. In November 1892, Kate Morgan checked into the hotel under the name Lottie Bernard. Despite her elegant appearance and seemingly refined manners, she was a mystery to the hotel staff and fellow guests. Kate was reportedly in poor spirits and seemed to be waiting for someone who never arrived. Her stay ended in tragedy when her lifeless body was discovered on the hotel's front porch, having succumbed to a gunshot wound. The circumstances surrounding Kate Morgan's death remain shrouded in mystery. While some accounts suggest it was a suicide, others speculate foul play or a tragic accident. Regardless of the cause, her death left an indelible mark on the Hotel del Coronado, and her ghost is said to haunt the very grounds where she met her untimely end. Guests and staff have reported numerous eerie encounters with Kate's spirit. Her apparition is often described as a sorrowful young woman in late 19th century attire, seen wandering the hotel's hallways or standing forlornly near the spot where she was found. Witnesses have recounted hearing her soft footsteps, the rustling of a phantom dress, and even the sound of her mournful sobs echoing through the corridors. The hotel's storied history is also marked by other ghostly phenomena. The elegant Victorian structure, with its labyrinthine hallways and grand rooms, has been the setting for numerous paranormal occurrences. Guests have reported unexplained cold spots, sudden drops in temperature, and the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. The sounds of ghostly laughter, disembodied voices, and the clinking of glasses have been heard in various parts of the hotel, adding to its eerie ambience. One particularly unsettling aspect of the Hotel del Coronado's hauntings is the frequent sighting of ghostly figures in the hotel's original ballroom. The grand space, once the site of lavish parties and elegant gatherings, is now a focal point for paranormal activity. Guests and staff have reported seeing shadowy figures dancing in the ballroom, as though reliving the opulent social events of the past. The spectral dancers are often seen as fleeting shapes or vague silhouettes, adding an otherworldly touch to the room's historical grandeur. The hotel's garden area, with its beautifully manicured lawns and serene atmosphere, is another site of paranormal activity. Guests have reported strange occurrences, such as sudden gusts of wind, unexplained rustling of leaves, and the feeling of an invisible presence nearby. Some believe these ghostly manifestations are connected to the hotel's past, with spirits of former guests or staff lingering in the tranquil surroundings. As night falls over the Hotel del Coronado, the once glamorous setting takes on a more spectral and mysterious quality. The combination of its historic elegance, the tragic tale of Kate Morgan, and the lingering presence of other ghostly entities create an atmosphere of haunting allure. The Hotel del Coronado remains a compelling destination for those seeking a spine-tingling encounter with the supernatural, where the ghosts of the past continue to roam the opulent halls and manicured gardens.
For those intrigued by the paranormal, the Hotel del Coronado offers a ghostly journey through a world where history and hauntings intertwine. The spectral legends and eerie occurrences at the hotel provide a chilling glimpse into the past, making it a captivating and eerie destination for those fascinated by the mysteries of the supernatural. Well, our time has come to an end. And with that, we wrap up our special Halloween episode featuring 31 of the spookiest places in America. I hope you enjoyed this thrilling two-part special of Preservation Oaks as much as we did creating it. These stories have hopefully brought you a captivating mix of history and the supernatural, perfect for your Halloween. This series' music was brought to you by RV Studio, MD Factory, Gentle Jammers, Score Wizards, Symbol Bird, and Scott Holmes. As a reminder, MicroStream Radio is a registered trademark. Visit us at www.microstreamradio.com. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted by MicroStream Radio and may not be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used in any form without written permission. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay curious, keep exploring the extraordinary stories that shape our world, and remember, there's always more to discover. This is Sean Radcliffe signing off. See you next time on Preservation Oaks, and until then, keep on giving and keep on living the good life. For those intrigued by the paranormal, the Hotel del Coronado offers a ghostly journey through a world where history and hauntings intertwine. The spectral legends and eerie occurrences at the hotel provide a chilling glimpse into the past, making it a captivating and eerie destination for those fascinated by the mysteries of the supernatural. Well, our time has come to an end. And with that, we wrap up our special Halloween episode featuring 31 of the spookiest places in America. I hope you enjoyed this thrilling two-part special of Preservation Oaks as much as we did creating it. These stories have hopefully brought you a captivating mix of history and the supernatural, perfect for your Halloween. This series' music was brought to you by RV Studio, MD Factory, Gentle Jammers, Score Wizards, Symbol Bird, and Scott Holmes. As a reminder, MicroStream Radio is a registered trademark. Visit us at www.microstreamradio.com. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted by MicroStream Radio and may not be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used in any form without written permission. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay curious, keep exploring the extraordinary stories that shape our world, and remember, there's always more to discover. This is Sean Radcliffe signing off. See you next time on Preservation Oaks, and until then, keep on giving and keep on living the good life.